Hi everyone, we're at DIMDEX 2024 in Doha, Qatar, and I feel honored this morning to interview Vice Admiral Wikoff, the new commander of the US Fifth Fleet. Admiral, good morning.
Good morning, Xavier. Thank you.
It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you for your time to answer a few of my questions. Can you please first tell us a little bit about your background and remind our audience what the US Fifth Fleet is?
Well, thanks, Xavier. Yes, been in the Navy for 34 years. My background is in naval aviation, but haven't flown in about 10 years now as I've transitioned to staff jobs as I've moved forward in my career. Fifth Fleet, I've had an opportunity to take command of Fifth Fleet from Vice Admiral Brad Cooper back on February 1st. The Fifth Fleet mission is really threefold. It's maritime security cooperation and maritime security operations here in this area of responsibility, which is about 2.5 million square miles of water space, starting at the Suez Canal, going through the Red Sea, out through the Gulf of Aden to the Gulf of Oman, into the northern Indian Ocean, northern Arabian Sea, and through the Arabian Gulf. So that's really the area of responsibility. The other two things we do here in this fleet are theater security cooperation, which is exercising with our regional partners, and finally working on interoperability. And those are really the three primary focuses of the Fifth Fleet Command. In this mission, I own two other hats. One is the NAVCENT, the component commander for NAVCENT, the naval component commander, where I do operations as assigned by General Kurilla at Central Command. And the third hat I wear is the one I'm most excited about, which is the commander of the Combined Maritime Force. And that's 41 like-minded nations that do maritime operations here in this Fifth Fleet area of operations, where we have nations from around the globe, from Norway to Australia, from Japan and South Korea, all the way to Brazil. And they cooperate and work together on missions as they volunteer to enhance the maritime security of this region.
As you mentioned, you recently took over the command of Fifth Fleet from Vice Admiral Cooper, and this is in the midst of a crisis in the Red Sea. How challenging is that, and what's your assessment of the current situation?
Well, the region here has lots of opportunities too. So there is a crisis right now, but I don't want to lose sight of the long-term picture, which is to continue to build assurance for our regional allies and our partners and our members of the CMF. So we have multiple missions going on here at the same time. One of the missions right now, as you point out, is the crisis in the South Red Sea, Bab el-Mandeb, and the Gulf of Aden. That mission is ongoing. Our sailors from our coalition are doing tremendous work on a daily basis in an extraordinarily stressful environment. We have not had sailors in an environment that stressful. One would argue at least the tanker wars in the late 80s, or possibly much earlier than that, where sailors on a daily basis have been put in harm's way by what are effectively terrorist operations from a non-state actor, the Houthis. So I'm extraordinarily proud of the work that they have been doing on a daily basis in operations in the Gulf of Aden, the Bab el-Mandeb, and the South Red Sea, with the overall mindset of preserving that freedom of navigation, which is really a core mission for all of our navies around the globe.
How happy are you with the current level of interoperability and cooperation with allies in the region?
The interoperability, one of the things we get to exercise here frequently is that interoperability, and we leverage other interoperability. For instance, many of our European allies who are here on different missions, but we still can leverage that connective tissue we have from operations elsewhere. We also have allies and partners we work with from Asia who also work in the CMF in this region. So with this region, once again, gives us an opportunity to put these navies together in coalitions and groupings that you wouldn't normally see geographically dispersed around the globe and interoperate together. So there's always room to improve interoperability. We are never perfect in our interoperability, but I am extraordinarily pleased with how quickly any unit from our like-minded nations can come together and interoperate in this region.
On that specific topic, do you welcome the European operation ASPIDES, or do you see it as a potential source of deconfliction issues with the US-led Operation Prosperity Guardian?
Yeah, absolutely. We're absolutely excited for the opportunity for European ASPIDES, European Union effort, to come here and work in the South Red Sea, in the Gulf of Aden, the Bab el-Mandeb, to preserve freedom of navigation. It's a like-minded mission. And their mission of presence here complements very well what we're doing here. We work alongside our European partners in this particular mission set to continue to preserve our freedom of navigation. We will learn together. We've done this before. We currently have operation at Atlantica, which is a mission that is counter-piracy, which the European Union continues to do in this region. We also have our Task Force 151, which is a counter-piracy mission as well. So this isn't anything different for us. It's just because we're in crisis and we're responding to crisis, we'll be learning together as we deconflict and make sure we optimize our operations here in the theater.
My last question, Admiral, is about capability. Do you feel that your vessels are rightly fitted and suited to counter the wide array of threats currently deployed in the Red Sea? There are talks of one-way attack UAVs or loitering ammunitions, UAVs, anti-ship missiles, including ballistic missile ones.
Well, you've heard this before. Our most treasured is our sailors, and they are lethal. And they are lethal, and every day they are out there standing the watch, and I feel extraordinarily proud, and you can see the training they've done on how well they've been performing. Our systems are complete overmatch for anything the Houthis are able to put out and to, when they're terrorizing the Maritime, to put out against our forces and all of our coalition forces. But we need to be mindful that the Houthis just have to get lucky once. So we'll maintain a vigilant standard. We'll continue to train our operators and continue to employ lessons learned as we continue this operation. But in summary, I am extraordinarily proud of the work our team has done out here and our entire coalition to preserve the freedom of navigation in the South Red Sea, BAM, and the Gulf of Aden.
All right, that was loud and clear. Vice Admiral Wikoff, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.